Everyone is trying to make extra money right now. So today I wanted to talk about side hustle versus business to see which one is right for you if you are looking to make some extra money right now. Hey, I'm Jen. I am here to help you do better with money so that you have more of it to do the things that you want to do. And I don't always talk about frugality, though. I do love talking about saving money and spending better and managing your money wisely. A big part of the personal finance equation is making more money. A lot of the times we neglect our paychecks and our salaries and we think this is kind of what we're relegated to. This is what my parents did. This is what my grandparents did. Or alternatively, we'll start these side gigs that are really just not lucrative, like online surveys or doing tasks online and all these like little data entry things because they're the low-hanging fruit, but they pay pennies. So there are two ways to actually earn some money, and I'm kind of biased towards one, but there is a place for each. So you've got the side hustle and the side business. So what is a side hustle and what is a side business? Well, a side hustle, which I'm kind of referring to as the same as like a side gig or something in the gig economy, is a one-time job. So you sign up for these services and you get to drive somebody around on Uber or put together someone's IKEA furniture on TaskRabbit. But once you're done doing that, you're done with that customer. You don't get to market towards them again. You don't get to get a referral to get somebody else a ride or an upsell to assemble more furniture for somebody while you're there. You don't get the opportunity to do that because it's not your business. You are a contractor, so that is a one-time gig. Alternatively, when you run a side business, you get more control over your marketing. You can go back, you can remarket yourself to customers, get referrals. My first business was a t-shirt design business, so people could buy as many shirts from me as they wanted. They could even request custom designs, and so I did that. That was my first business. I had another business renting our guest room out on Airbnb, so it was very easy for former guests to share the link to our room to their friends, and we could, interact with them and get referrals that way. So we could also price our room however high or low we wanted. We had control over that. So that's kind of the difference between a side hustle / side gig and a side business. So there is a lot of overlap into them, but that's kind of how I'm differentiating. So don't get mad if you're doing something that you think is a side business, but I'm referring to as a side hustle. There is some overlap, and so I'll go over that. But each has its place in the earn more money ecosystem. And if you're not gonna watch the whole video, know that I am more partial to side businesses because they earn more, they're more scalable, but they don't have to be scalable if you just wanna supplement your income. They're great. But I didn't start out doing side businesses. I did side hustles for almost 2 years. And when we were paying off $78,000 of debt, that was almost exclusively done thanks to side hustles and side gigs. So they do have their place in the ecosystem. So I'm going to share how you know if you should be doing a side hustle or if you're ready to start a side business. So here are the real questions are, when should I be doing a side hustle? And when am I ready to start a side business? So that's how I'm going to compare side hustles versus side businesses. Depending on where you're at in your financial journey, you will be able to answer each of these questions and know which one you are and which place you're at. So first person that should be side hustling is when you have never made any of your own money before that has not been paid out by a W-2 employer. It's definitely a good idea to get some experience going out on your own, learning time management skills, kind of creating another bank account so that you can keep your side income separate from your regular income, stuff like that. So like wade into it. Don't just like jump into starting a business. So it's not bad if you have no business experience before, like nobody in your family started a business or knew about like entrepreneurship, then it's a good idea to just kind of wade in and use side hustles as a starter. And you can see how these businesses manage their 1099 contractors, which is what you would be. So you're kind of getting an education in running a business while getting paid. And obviously, maybe your goal isn't to start the next Uber, but you can still kind of see terms and conditions and all these other things from more established businesses before you get started with your own. Next is, if you are scared to start a side business, don't believe the hype that you need to just rush past your fear and ignore it and just go into it. Like, you can actually take some time and try other things before you start a side business. And working these like 1099 jobs that have lower incomes and seeing how little you get paid, how much of a cut they take on the platform, and how much you pay in taxes will be a really good motivator for you to start something on your own. Let that anger fuel your passion and your drive to start your own side business, speaking from experience. And lastly, you should be doing a side hustle if you just want to make some quick money and then get out. So if you have a side business, you are going to have to work on that every week or every month. You have to build it up. Whereas a side hustle or a side gig, you can make some quick money and then get out. Some people don't want to build something up. If you want to make some quick money for Christmas or a birthday or an unexpected bill, you can do that with a side hustle and then just get out and not be committed to it. But if you're looking for something to actually add and supplement to your income every month, then you can go to a side business. But if that's not what you're looking for, if you don't need that or want that, then stick with side hustles. All right, when should you start a side business? When are you ready for that? Well, first, when you start thinking that your side gig isn't paying as much as it used to. If you are doing some kind of side gig and you are finding your pay per project or whatever is kind of going down, then that's not going to get any better. You've been there for too long if you can see that decline. Because these are publicly traded companies for the most part, and they have an obligation to their shareholders to show an increase, to show profit quarter over quarter. And one of the ways they do that is taking a cut from their workers. So this isn't a problem that's going to get better. It will only get worse quarter over quarter. If they need to show their shareholders more profit, then they'll keep taking from the bottom, from their 1099 contractors. So if you are noticing a decline in that, and it's probably time to jump ship. Second is if you're noticing that your side gig is oversaturated with workers. Grocery shoppers saw a lot of that in 2020. There is a demand for grocery delivery, but it did not keep up with the overwhelm of people looking to grocery shop. And that also came with people designing bots that would automatically take higher paying grocery shops. And so if you are noticing that there are fewer and fewer gigs available to you, then it might be time to jump ship and start something on your own. You're probably going to have enough experience working on your own if you've been through it and you've done it enough to kind of seen a decline in number of jobs, then it's probably time for you to move on. And lastly, you want to make more consistent income, but you don't want to be an entrepreneur. You want to have your salary job. That is totally great. Don't believe the lie that says you have to be an entrepreneur or a startup CEO or any of that to have a side business. You can just have a side business and a full-time job. You just have to know how to manage your time, how to outsource, all that stuff so that you can have a low impact side business. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. And honestly, a lot of the side business ideas people and websites will push on you. Some of them do make lots of money. Some of them can get you to a full-time income, but that's more of the anomaly and not the normal. But you can still make $1,000 or $2,000 a month on top of your salary doing some of these side businesses without a lot of time or effort. So while there are side businesses that are totally scalable if you want to leave your job, you can choose easy startup side businesses if that's not what you want. So don't think that you have to start this business that grows. I think a lot of people in 2020 got a taste of working from home and realized it's just not for them. And so that's totally okay. You can still have a side business that brings you in money and keep your day job. They're not exclusive. And if you're ready to start one of those side businesses, this is just a supplement to what you're doing that can bring in some money quickly, but you don't necessarily need to scale it. You can, but that's like not what your goal is. Then check out my side business starter kit. It's got everything in there that you need to get over some of those myths that say that you can't start a side business, some ways on how to start it, things you need and don't need, and it kind of will get you over that hump to getting you comfortable with running a side business, and then give you some places to go to get clearer on how to run whatever side business you choose. So this is definitely a starter kit for people that are just getting started. I've had a lot of side businesses. Honestly, most of my full-time income is just different streams of like side businesses. So it's just like a bunch of side businesses coming together to form like my full-time business. So I'm definitely familiar with this and can help you get started. So check out the link in the description for that. And then also check out these other videos over here if you want a little bit more help with some side hustles, and definitely check out that side business starter kit in the description below.